Hello students, in continuation to my previous lecture, today we will discuss about a different ways a commercial bank lends money to the public, that is the ways of advancing of loans. To continue, the first method is loans. Students, here you must know one thing, that whenever a customer approaches a bank to take money or to borrow money, he has to mortgage something. All these facilities are being given once the security is being given to a bank. A security has to be deposited, a security has to be approved. Only then you will be in a position to get these loans. So before loans, the customer is here to mortgage his security or whatever documents he has to do, and he has to open a saving account to have loans from a commercial bank. Once your loan is being approved, what the bank will do, bank will transfer the whole amount to your saving account. Let's take that you have taken a loan of 10 lakhs. You applied for a loan of 10 lakhs. And bank, after documentation, after verification, approved कि yes, this customer has been approved to a loan to the extent of 10 lakh. So at one time only, bank will transfer this amount to your account. Now it's up to you how to use that money, when to use that money. Bank will not interfere. Bank knows only one thing, that once this amount is being transferred to your account, you are going to pay your interest as per the terms and conditions settled among you. Okay, so this is in case of loans. The first thing, in order to take this facility, you have to keep something as a mortgage and you have to open an account. Bank will never give you loan in the form of cash. It is always being transferred to your account. So in case of loan, the whole amount will get transferred and you have to pay the rate of interest on the full amount sanctioned, whether you use it or you have not used it. On the contrary, we have got cash credit. The another way of advancing loans is cash credit. What do we have in this? Initial process of cash credit is same as we have in case of loans. But what is the difference? That in case of cash credit, if the loan of 10 lakh rupees has been approved after documentation, after verification, bank will not transfer this whole amount to your account. Yes, you have to open an account, but the whole amount is not going to be transferred. Bank, you know that bank works as an agent. So as per your need, probably you don't need the whole amount at one instance only. At one time you need 1 lakh, another moment of time you need 2 lakhs. So as per your conditions, as per your instructions, whatever you will pass on to bank, bank will keep on passing, bank will keep on transferring that much amount to your account. You are going to get your amount in installments as per your need, as per your instructions. Bank will simply follow whatever you will say. If you will say to the bank, okay, transfer the whole amount, bank will do that. If you will say, no, I just need a 1 lakh, bank will do that. And let's assume that you got your loan approved to the extent of 10 lakhs, but the project for which it was being applied, for which it was being issued, it got over at 6 lakhs only. So you used only 6 lakhs. So this is the difference in case of loan and cash credit. In case of loans, customer has to pay rate of interest on the full amount sanctioned. Whereas in case of cash credit, customer will pay rate of interest only on the utilized amount. We are not going to pay interest on the full amount sanctioned. Hope it is clear that what is the difference between loan and cash credit. For both, we have to open a saving account and you have to mortgage something. A security has to be kept, anything which you feel ki yes, it has got a value, so that thing has to be mortgaged against that loan to a bank. Let's move to the third way. The third way is through which a commercial bank lends money to a public is overdraft. Now, what is this overdraft? The first thing you need to keep in mind that this overdraft facility is only meant for a businessman. It's not meant for you and me. It's not meant for a common man. Overdraft facility we have only to be used by a businessman. And I hope you all know that a businessman carries which type of account. A businessman carries only a current account. So it is clear that in order to avail this facility of overdraft, you need to have a current account. And if you remember, I told you that being a bank as a fiscal agent, we are working for production. We are working for growth. We are working for development. So bank doesn't want that because of the paucity of funds, we will have you are going to stop your productive activity. It should continue at any cost. So in that case, bank says ki okay, you are in need of a money, because we all know a businessman is always in need of a money. So in case you are in a need of money, but in your current account you have got only 10,000 and you need 15,000. So what the bank says over here, what is the role of a bank? Bank says that instead of borrowing this money from your friends, from your relatives, from your brothers, sisters, no, there is no need to go any fear. I am here to solve this problem. I will help you. So the amount which is being less, bank will exceed your draft by that much amount. In that present case, if I told you that bank's current account, there are 10,000, 10k is there, and you are in need of 15k. So bank will exceed your draft by the amount of 5k. Yes, you are here to give this exceeded amount back to the bank, but it is again a matter of goodwill. It is as per you personal relationship with the bank, but bank is going to charge interest on that. Normally the period sanctioned for this type of amount is 90 days, but it can vary from person to person, customer to customer. So overdraft facility is specifically meant for a businessman only. Then there comes a very important way to advance loan, that is called as discounting bills of exchange. What is that? Discounting bills of exchange. Now what is this? First of all, this facility is given by a commercial bank for its customers to facilitate your international trade. It is not for your, it can be for your domestic trade also, but specifically this facility was introduced to facilitate your international trade. In international trade, we have got two parties, that is exporter and importer, or in simple words you can say we have two parties, that is a debtor and creditor. Now debtor and creditor has got a deal, and a party, you can say creditor is supposed to get an amount of 10k from a debtor, and the period, the locking period is, he said ki okay, I will give it back to you after 6 months. This is the case. But now what happens? Creditor immediately needs the money. There is some kind of emergency, and creditor says ki yes, I am in need of money, please give it to me because of the emergency. Debtor says sorry, I don't have money. Creditor needs money. So what will happen over here? If I am going to make this triangle, try to understand. Here it is party A, here it is party B, then we have C. Party A is your debtor, party B is your creditor. Creditor has given a material to A on the terms and conditions that debtor will make the payment of that material after 6 months. But creditor is in need of money immediately. So what will happen now? Both the parties will make a legal document which will be called as a bills of exchange, and they will carry this bills of exchange to a third party. Which one is a third party? Third party is a bank. Bank will go through that deed, bank will go through that affidavit, and after going through, after approving that, what will happen? The amount which a debtor was supposed to make payment to creditor, now the amount will be given to creditor by a bank after deducting its commission. because bank is playing here as a third party. So bank will discount that bills of exchange. Let's say that the amount which a party A debtor was supposed to make to a creditor, it was to the extent of 10k, right? And bank says, okay, I will deduct 10%. So 10,000 and 10%. 10% of 10,000 bank will keep with itself, and rest of the amount which a debtor was supposed to make to a creditor, it will be made by a bank on the behalf of debtor to the creditor. And this 10,000 as per the agreement in lateral period will be given to bank by a debtor now. So what is the purpose of this all activity? As I told you that I need to have a continuation. I don't want that work should stop. So in this case, what is happening? B gets material, debtor has got material on time, so production is going on without having shut down. B has got its payment on time, and bank has got its commission. So all the three parties are going to have in case of a benefit, and they are going to play this role just to make your constructive, productive activity going on. And this facility is called as discounting bills of exchange. So this was all about your primary function. Then there comes your agency functions. I told you that bank is an agent, and being an agent, he has to do certain activities. He is not going to earn any income. He is not going to generate any income. But yes, to maintain a goodwill in the market, he has to offer these services. And now, what do we have under agency functions? What type of business a bank does as an agent? Like he is going to do transfer of funds from one bank to the another on your behalf. He is going to deal with your shares. Okay, you pay this much or you buy this much and you can transfer to this party. He is going to make the payment to the companies on your behalf because you have already given your post-dated checks. So all these functions which a bank is doing as an agent is to be called as a agency functions. But keep in mind, bank will do only if you will give instructions to bank. Bank will never do anything of its own. He will simply follow your instructions. And last function performed by a bank is general utility functions. What are these general utility functions? It is not concerned with advancement of money, or you can say acceptance of deposits. No, here we are going to have, like you must have seen that your parents have got a locker facility. So in case you feel that these papers or this kind of security or jewelry, gold, they are not safe at home, so bank gives you this facility to keep that with himself, with the bank, because it is a responsibility of the bank now, it's not your responsibility. Then bank gives you permission to make use of check system. Okay, you can sign a check, it will be accepted as a medium of exchange. Then he is going to have LOR, letter of recommendation, he gives. Then he makes a transfer of the goods from one place to another. He gives you the data, required data. You must have seen in your family, if they are carrying a good customer, then you are going to have a SBI annual report or ICICI annual report. So what is this data? They are going to update you that in a year they have done this type of business, these were the policies, where the bank has performed these activities. And moreover, in general utility function, one of the most important is bank is going to regulate and facilitate you regarding forex also. What is this forex? Forex means your foreign exchange. So bank deals that if you need to send money from India to any of the foreign country, bank will do that for you. Bank will never say no. So this is all about a function of commercial banks. We covered three functions: primary function, agency functions, and general utility functions. Thank you.